We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for
Life ain't been the same, bro. Yeah, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man. Balling, man.
Come on.
I swear on you, and I met your motherfucking ass, and all the heat and thunder coming around with your motherfucking ass. You know I was in fucking jail, nigga. You ain't throw a nigga a noodle. You ain't said shit or keep your ear or nothing. It seem like you just leave your people for dead, man. That shit wrong, dude. That's some bullshit. That ain't cool, dude.
See, I'm gonna be all right. I got villas in Brazil, Tahiti, East Hampton, West Hampton.
God damn.
I own 20 kookaroos.
What the fuck? Throw a dog a bone or something. Fuck. Brother Love, come show some love. Show some love, brother Love. Throw my kids something. Throw somebody kids something. God damn.
I got 6 fucking kids.
God damn.
You know how much money that is to put them through school? You know how many Air Jordan 6 black kids wear?
I see you popping bottle. Poop, poop, poop.
I'm doing fine.
What the fuck I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Man, don't leave bad taste in everybody's fucking mouth, dude.
Everyone loves chicken.
What?
Don't be proud of your ignorance. Now tell me something good.
The Lord got me, homie.
It's really nice.
God got me, homie. That's why I'm still here and everything, dude.
I absolutely cannot. I absolutely cannot. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your second morning wake-up call. Or actually, this should be a daily vitamins at the time that it is. But nonetheless, thank you all for tuning in. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. If you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. All right, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur and TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, Miss J is here. That Crazy Beach Aries, Queen Amoni Huey, Desmond. All right, shout out to my moderators putting in work. Greta Lee is here. Okay. We got All Hell No, Mr. Elevation, Exquisite Film, cut from a different cloth. All right, I heard that. Rutha is in the house, Tangi. Okay, the Prince of Paraphernalia, Emma's Blessed, Belinda, Pincy Lola. Hey, y'all, TV in the house, Sandra. Nessie X, Emma's Blessed, Juju is here. So let's get into it, Courtney J and All Hell No. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. All right. Negroes officials, Queen Hanifa Ayotunde. Hope I said that right. Okay, Khalid is here, Claudette. All right, so first things first. This is all nefarious. Now, 2 of these stories that I'm about to tell you happened in church. So let's start with the first one, where the pastor got a gun pulled on him during the Sunday service. Reverend Glenn Germany of Jesus Dwelling Place Church in Pittsburgh suburb of North Braddock. He spoke to Good Morning America. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this for yourselves. This is all crazy. But you know, these churches should have security and should probably be checking people at the door after that whole thing with Dylan Roof. I'm just saying. And the thing in Kentucky where the guy went to go shoot up a church, but he couldn't get in because they had the doors locked, fortunately. And so then he went to Kroger. You all remember that a few years ago?
Now to the...
Hold on just a second. Let me put a little overlay over this real quick. Okay, there we go.
Divine intervention when a frightening incident unfolded at a church in Pennsylvania. Eva Pilgrim has that story for us. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. The church is a place where the doors are open to everyone. Well, Sunday, a man with a gun came through the doors of a Pennsylvania church. The pastor saying the gunman smiled at him before bringing the service to a stop. With what happened next?
This morning, the dramatic video from a church's live stream showing the moment Pastor Glenn Germany looked down the barrel of a gun.
And God has chosen.
Jesus! He says he's grateful to God to be alive.
He actually pulled a gun, and that's when I seen the gun. And at that point, I didn't have no time to think. It was just reaction, you know, duck and try to get out of the way of his line of fire.
A gunman pastor says he had never seen before, interrupting Sunday's sermon in North Braddock outside Pittsburgh. Pastor Germany says the man had come in and out of the church several times before making eye contact with him, standing up and pointing that gun at him.
He pulled the trigger and a miracle of God happened that the gun got jammed. That bullet had a name on it.
Clarence McCalliator putting his life on the line and his faith in God, jumping into action, tackling the gunman.
I just jumped up and pulled the gun, pulled his arm down to his side and locked him up.
The deacon pulling the gun away.
I think that was an act of heroism if I ever seen one.
Yeah, truly. And as for that gunman, authorities now also saying they found a body when they searched his home. No word on a motive for all of this. That mystery now only deepening. The pastor tells us they will be back in church next week for a service.
You all heard that? Did you all hear that? They found a body when they searched his home? Wow, that man is a hero because it couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me, beloveds. I would have wanted to help, but clearly fear would have taken church and saw that man pull out that gun on the pastor. Honey, the next thing I would have done is headed for the exit. Every man for himself and God for us all at this point. This is all crazy. Claudette said, not a body. Okay. Queen Sam said, thank goodness for that deacon of defense. Queen Sam, what do you know about the deacons of defense? Now, I find that all interesting. For those of you who don't know, the Deacons of Defense was a group of activists who protected the Black community. They were actually formed before the Black Panther Party. That is so hilarious. Not the Deacon of Defense. Okay. Lewis Kendrick said, wouldn't be going back there ever. Okay, me either. I would never be seen in church again. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Negroes official said, hope this is not staged. Honey, it's not staged. They literally said when they searched his house, they found a body. They found a body in his house. The man's a whole killer. And stage it for what? So they can get on the news? Honey, that man was a cold killer. All right, he was a whole killer. Thank God that pastor is safe. Because that's real crazy. You can't even go anywhere these days, not even to church, sad to say. And speaking of church, let's talk about it. Because Shawnee O'Neal's husband, they're going in on him after he hushed a woman during the Sunday service. That's why folks stay at home. Shawnee's husband, Pastor Keon Henderson, under fire after telling a woman to hush during worship. Call it divine intervention or a necessary course of action. But Shawnee O'Neal's husband, Pastor Keon Henderson, has social media divided after shutting down a congregant at church. Now, a video of the Lighthouse Church leader has begun to circulate of him having to tell a woman to hush as she cried so loudly during worship. Okay, so I'm going to show you all this because she was crying so loud. And I, quite frankly, I'm not even joking. I would have told her aide to hush too. Because to me, she was just trying to be overly dramatic. Here's the thing that I find interesting. A lot of these people in church, I'm sorry, they're faking. A lot of these people getting up doing praise dances, acting like they got the Holy Ghost. They are faking, okay? These people are faking, putting on. I'm not saying all of them, but some of these people are absolutely faking. Just like some of these people pretending that they can speak in tongues. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying. Yeah, and she shut right up. That's how you know she was faking. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm going to show you all the footage, right? Because I brought the receipts. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. This is all nefarious. Okay, here we go. Let me get my overlay on here real quick.
Now, y'all, Pastor Keon Henderson has found himself in a lot of trouble with Instagram and TikTok.
I live my hands in. Hey. Stop her. Hush, hush. Silence in the name of Jesus. I lift my hands in total. The only voice I want heard is his. Oh, praise.
Now, y'all,
Say what now? He said the only voice I want heard is his. So I'm sorry, was Jesus in the building? Did Jesus have something to say? Because the only voice I heard after he told her to hush was his. He said the only voice I want heard was his. Sir. Anyway, people are clearly pressed. Okay, people are mad about it. Some people are anyway. But y'all can admit, okay, let me just ask y'all this real quick. And be honest. Hey, black women, stand up. Once in the chat, if you would have also asked her to be quiet. Once in the chat, if you feel like he was right, you know, to just ask her to be quiet. What do y'all have to say about it? I mean, she was absolutely put on, okay? I've been to church thousands of times when I used to go, all right? And I've seen people go there and act a whole fool, acting like they got the spirit and all of that. I had the spirit too, but I didn't have to act a fool to prove it. Okay, Alberta said that was demonic, all right? Mr. Elevation said if you were in the spirit, you wouldn't have heard her. So you said if he was in the spirit, he wouldn't have heard her? I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, beloved. He definitely would have still heard her. At the end of the day, yes, that crazy bitch Aaron said it was extra. It was. Okay, Wavy though said, folks are whole thespians in these churches. POP said he was too rude. To me, she was rude. That's just my opinion. To me, she was rude. If I were him, I'd have told her to shut up too. So please, can you sit down, ma'am? You're doing too much. He said it a whole lot nicer than I would have. Ma'am, excuse me, please. We're trying to have prayer here. You're doing a little too much, okay? You can take that on outside. Go on outside the doors, please. Let the doors of the church open so that you can go on outside with all that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Dad said I would have asked the whole thing to be quiet. Shake my head. Okay, thank you. And thank you for your contribution, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Exactly. Lewis said she was crying. She was crying so loud, okay? Miss J said she was extra, but sounded like a demon being exercised. Just saying. She sounded disruptive, in my opinion. His church must not be set up right. Where were the ushers to escort her out? Somebody had one job and failed. Exactly. Because that's what the ushers are absolutely for. Okay? That's what the ushers are absolutely for. I used to be an usher, except I was a junior usher because I was a teenager. But nonetheless, that's the usher's job. If someone's being disruptive, just escort them right on out the door. If she's crying and upset, go get her a handkerchief or napkin or whatever and escort her quietly out the door. Hold up your finger before you do. Y'all know the routine. And so, Just Ben said she sounded like a fire truck. Timber Dan said, I can't even do church. I'm sorry. I can't do it either. At this point, it's all a whole grift as far as I'm concerned. And then Pastor Henderson sitting up there pretending, because I'm sure he wasn't doing it for real, but sitting there pretending that he's speaking in tongues. As a person who actually has spoken tongues, I'm sorry. I'm calling cap. Okay? Calling cap. Now, so with that all being said, let's continue because I find it all nefarious. They say at one point the pastor made his way over to her and said, shh, hey, stop it, hush, hush. And then went back to the stage. Now, some people online claimed to be members of the church, Okay, and they shared that the individual routinely puts on that same act. That's what they said, it's an act. They said she routinely puts on the same act every week. One person alleged that she has become audibly louder with every service, leading many to believe that it's not the Lord's Spirit moving her, okay? To her, that she's just losing herself in the moment and getting caught up in the spirit. She's putting on an act. That's exactly what she was doing. Now they say if she was able to cut off that quick, it wasn't necessary in the first place. That's what one person said. Another person said, some people play in church with all the theatrics. He's like, enough is enough. That's how I would have been. Okay, I would have gone in on her. I'm sorry. That'd be like, what kind of pastor is Queen? The kind that'll shut you up when you're putting on a show. Please pay attention. Now, but not everyone was on board with Henderson's manner of quieting her down. One person's judgment of him read, he operates in the spirit of self, shaking my head. Another said that instead of snapping his finger, he should have prayed for her. Please sit down somewhere. Wait now. That's why folks stay at home. No, folks stay at home because that's what they choose to do. Let's not act like because he told that woman to hush, that's why you've been staying at home. Second of all, here's the thing. The people that likely feel like he was being wrong about it or didn't like that he told her to be quiet, they probably go to church and put on acts too. They probably go to church and do the same thing. So I'm glad he called her out. Somebody said another harsh take on the incident says, how you gonna silence her in Jesus' name when Holy Spirit may have been inside of her? This man was putting on a performance, a show, like most of them do. Well, if he was, she was putting on one right with him. And I'm sorry, but he gets preferential treatment when it comes to putting on a show because that's his church. That's how it goes. I'm not saying he wasn't putting on a show, but clearly that's his church and his congregation. So if he wants to put on a show and stop you from putting on yours, that's what he's privy to do. So Shawnee's former best friend, Tammy Roman, also chimed in, writing, the Holy Spirit can't be silenced. He felt something off and shut it down. Okay? Because if she was really filled with the Holy Spirit, she wouldn't have just turned it off so quick. Okay, please pay attention. Henderson is a longtime churchgoer, having shared that he first received the calling of ministry when he was 5 years old. He founded his first church, Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist, in 2003 when he was just 21 and a full-time college student. In 2009, he founded the Lighthouse Church in Houston, Texas, though it has since grown to 5 campuses across the state. Now, the Gary, Indiana native, however, may be best known as the husband of Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, Shawnee. The retired NBA player and Shawnee, the mother of his 4 children, were married for 9 years. Okay, why are they telling me all this? I don't need to know any of it. Okay? So with that all being said, I'm sorry. She was playing with the Lord. For all of y'all devils that think that he was the one in the wrong, I just want y'all to know that that woman was absolutely, unequivocally, beyond a shadow of a doubt, okay, playing with the Lord. That's what she was doing. That crazy bitch Eric said, pass the plate. Sandra said, where was his interpreter while speaking in tongues? Honey, he had none. Because that's how you know he wasn't speaking in tongues. Because when you're really speaking in tongues, somebody can translate it. Okay, please pay attention. And let me just tell you all this. Real quick. Dan says the Holy Spirit is a spirit of self-control. Okay? Thank you for loving it. Not a spirit of self-control. Okay, so now check this out. It is what it is. Says he was compromised. His face was everything when he walked back. His face was everything. I noticed that too. I absolutely noticed that too. But so let me just tell you about when I had a dream one time. This was so many years ago. But I had a dream one time that I was walking down the street and it was a gloomy day, like it was going to rain. Look like it was going to rain or storm. And there were leaves rustling on the ground, right? And so I'm approaching this huge synagogue. And as I get to it, the doors open. Just fling open, and I walk inside, and it's dimly lit, and there's candles burning, and all the people turn around and face me as I walk in. Now, there's a woman at the front, standing in front of the pulpit, not behind it, but in front of it, and she's possessed by a demon, and she's just writhing, her body's moving all weird, she has this hideous face, and I can tell that she's got a demon in her. So I walk up to her, now mind you, this is a dream. So I walk up to her, and I start waving my hands over her, and I start praying. But as I'm praying in another language. Now, in the dream, I knew the language, but when I woke up, I didn't know the language, but I could still speak it when I woke up. Now, please pay attention. Follow me on this. So about 2 years later, I'm working this job, and Courtney J said, play it again. So with that all I might play it again. But with that all being said, 2 years later, I was working this job. And so I meet this lady who's working there, and she comes up to me one day on break, and she starts telling me about a dream that she had. And she tells me the same dream that I dreamt, word for word. And it was real crazy to me because, first of all, those of you who've been following me for years know that I have prophetic dreams. But what I thought was crazy is that not only did she have the same dream and tell the same story, but when she was describing the dream, she used the exact same words that I used when I was describing it to a friend of mine. I mean, she said she's walking down the road and the leaves are rustling on the ground. First of all, a lot of people don't use the word rustling, but she specifically said that word. And then she said how the doors flung open and she was praying over the woman speaking a different language. And when she woke up, she could still speak the language. Now, that was crazy to me. So I went to a shaman that I knew at the time, and I had already told him about the dream as well. And I told him that I could still speak that language when I woke up. So I spoke the language to him, and he translated it, told me what I said, and it was the Lord's Prayer. And guess what? I was speaking Hebrew, didn't even know it, never studied Hebrew, never even read it or saw it. So that's speaking in tongues, okay? And that's a gift from the Most High. Now, back to what I was saying about the girl having the same dream as me when I told the shaman that as well. And I said, that's crazy though, because I had that dream 2 years later. But I mean, two years prior. But he said in the dream realm, there is no time. There's no concept of time. So though it was 2 years for me, in the dream realm, it really doesn't matter. It was the exact same time. So I find that very interesting. So I'm just saying, a lot of these people be faking and putting on fronts and shows. If you're really speaking in tongues, someone can be able to translate what you're saying. Because here's the thing. If no one can translate or interpret what you're saying, what's the point? What's the point of you speaking in tongues? Who are you ministering to when you're doing so? Besides yourself, if you know what you're saying. But a lot of these people just put on shows, and all they do is just act like, all they do is just speak gibberish. That's what it sounds like. Okay? So with that all being said, Juju said, I remember you telling this time and time again, all facts. Okay, thank you, beloved. You see, my stories don't change, honey. That's what the truth never changes. Pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about this other story because this is really sad. So this man took out his wife. They say they didn't specify what she found out, but they say that she found out a secret that he didn't want anyone to know. Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb and speculate and say that I believe that she found out that he was on the DL. I mean, from looking at him, he looks like he was on the DL. He's very, very pretty is all I'm saying. Okay, so let's get into it. Like, sub, everyone, please like and share. And I meant to tell you all this story yesterday, but for some reason I forgot. Okay, so this is a very sad story. Okay,
if you don't look fire with this filter, your jeans bad. And you need to be mad at your mom or your dad. I don't know which one of them ugly, but one of them ugly.
36-year-old Jasmine Armstrong was shot and killed at her Temple home Saturday morning, according to Temple police. Her husband, Britton Armstrong, was named a suspect in her death, but after a brief car chase with Belton police.
This is the story of Jasmine Armstrong, age 36, a mother to two beautiful kids who was shot and killed by her husband, 38-year-old Britton Armstrong, whom she had trusted, loved, and felt protected around. This shooting most likely stemmed out of her finding out some things he never wanted leaked to his friends and family. It was a case of ultimate betrayal by someone she really loved and cared for. Britton ended up in a police car chase while he was fleeing from the murder scene, which ended up very bad for him. This story will be taking us to Temple, Texas. Temple is one of Central Texas' fastest growing cities. Temple has grown steadily because of its diverse economy, agriculture, transportation, manufacturing. Was a dedicated wife and mother too. She loved her kids dearly.
Just dangling. Boy, ain't that serious.
In summary, they had a great family, they celebrated their anniversary and did many more. Himself. When the car finally came to a stop, police found him dead with a self-inflicted injury which he had caused to himself. He was a coward and could not live with what he had done to his wife, so he inflicted an injury on himself. What a sad way to go. A young man who everyone thought was God-fearing and matured, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
Two young Temple children are left without their parents following a murder over the weekend.
News 10's Alex Fulton joins us in studio. Alex, what are the next steps for these Charter Oak Elementary School students?
Lauren and Gordon, today 9-year-old Brielle Armstrong and 6-year-old Jediah Armstrong will be moved from Dallas to Georgia to live with their grandmother. This all comes after the unexpected and sudden loss of both of their parents.
I had absolutely no idea.
A tragedy took place at this home in Temple.
I found out all of the specifics of the incident after the fact.
According to Temple police, on Saturday morning, Britton Armstrong shot and killed his wife, Jasmine Goldring Armstrong.
Very sad story. Condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones, and specifically the poor children left without parents. All because he had things to hide and couldn't be honest with himself. Very sad set of circumstances, beloveds. Oh, Laverne said, can't even trust who you have kids with, shaking my darn head. Exactly. Now, Roddy said, the question is, I think it was Roddy. Roddy said, no. Roddy said, I thought women supposed to have all this intuition. Some people don't, beloved. And then Odd Negro's official said, the question is, how did she not know? I mean, exactly. I mean, he looks like he's gay. I'm sorry. She couldn't tell that. He was very a pretty man, like I said. Sharon said he's going to be the queen in prison. No, he's deceased. He took himself out when the police were chasing him, beloved. He is no longer here. Skeletor fan says she was definitely in denial. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Pearl said, sorry, I'm late, queen. That's okay, beloved. Just a really sad story. Roddy says, this is why it's dangerous for men to not know who they are. Men tend to delete things when they are lost and have no real identity. Sad situation. It is sad. Just living your truth. Like, people should just live in their truth. At the end of the day, you only have one life to live. Don't spend your life living a lie. And don't worry about what other people think. Because at the end of the day, when the casket drops and the dirt falls, you're going down there by yourself. So don't worry about what other people think about what you do and how you choose to do it. I never will. Okay? I never will. And now, with that all being said, let's talk about Candace Owens. No. Hold on. Before we talk about her, let's talk about these poor parents who are falsely accused of abuse, but it was really a misdiagnosis from the doctor. And so don't you know that CPS took their children, the welfare agents came and took their children away from them for months. I would have been livid. I would be suing that doctor, the hospital. I'd be suing everybody. It was a medical diagnosis that was completely wrong. Okay, and here's the family. Let me show you the pictures because I feel really bad about this. These beautiful little kids sent to go and stay with strangers when they had loving parents. That's them right there. Awful. So anyway, here's what happened. A child welfare investigation was blinkered from the start and sloppy as it progressed. But the adults caught in the bureaucratic nightmare were ultimately cleared of all wrongdoing. Now those Texas parents who lost custody of their 2 children for 5 months over a hospital's alleged misdiagnosis are fighting back against the state agents and medical professionals in a 14-count federal lawsuit. Good for them. And I hope they get every penny they're suing for. Now, Lorena Bourne and Jason Troy, on behalf of themselves and their minor children, accused several members of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, known as DFPC, of a myriad of Fourth Amendment and other constitutional violations. Now, the parents are also suing a child abuse doctor and the hospital where she worked for alleged negligence related to inaccurate and incomplete medical charts. Incomplete medical charts. Now, the action arises out of an arbitrary investigation of child abuse, the unreasonable search and seizure of JT and KT. That's what they're calling the children. They're not giving their names, of course, because they're minors. And the unlawful removal and continued withholding of the children from their parents long after any probable cause for their removal dissipated. Now, the original petition filed in late April reads, Jason and Lorena are loving parents who never abused or neglected JT and KT. On New Year's Eve in 2014, JT was born with a head circumference in the 95th percentile. At a 2-week exam, his head circumference was the same as at birth, and he dropped down to the 65th percentile. Now, then the next time his head was measured by his pediatrician in May of 2015, the swelling had returned and he was in the 99th percentile. The boy has since been diagnosed with benign external hydrocephalus, a condition where fluid collects between the brain and inner skull. Now, the cause of the condition is unknown, but is believed to arise from birth complications. So JT had a complicated birth. His birth records include documentation that he was born with a collection of blood between his scalp and his skull. That physical finding was due to birth-related trauma. Less than a week after his third head measurement, Bourne and Troy took JT to Dale Children's Hospital in Austin. There, according to the filing, Bourne was confronted by DPFS agent James Guton, who introduced himself as a caseworker and allegedly told the couple that they must cooperate with an investigation into their son's head injury. A doctor who worked at the hospital and who has a contractual relationship with the state of Texas had apparently determined that JT was a victim of shaken baby syndrome. Now, the family says they did not know the doctor in question was embedded at the hospital to act as an agent for the state. So they say Mr. Guyton told Lorena and Jason that they must sign a safety plan according to the filing. Now, Mr. Guyton told Lorena and Jason that if they did not sign the safety plan, then Mr. Guyton and his supervisor, Roger Robinson, would immediately remove the children. Based on Guyton's statements and under duress, Lorena and Jason signed the safety plan to avoid the removal of their children. Despite the questioning of JT's older brother turning up no evidence of the parents ever shaking the children, DFPS allegedly insisted on the safety plan. Now, under the terms of the 30-day plan, the father of 2 was forced to move out of the family's home by the state. How does that even make sense? Why would they make the father move out for 30 days? Because even if the child had been abused, who's to say the father was the one that did it? Like, this is crazy to me. Now, additionally, the mother had to be supervised by another adult at all times when she was with her children. Bourne and Troy went through those motions according to the lawsuit, and they complied with the safety plan. Now, when the state's authority lapsed in mid-June of 2015 and having received no word from the state about any alleged violation or continuance of the plan, the family believed their unfortunate run-in with DFPS had come to an end. But it had not. So through counsel, however, and out of an abundance of caution, the parents notified DFPS that they were taking the kids out of the state to visit family in Oklahoma. Then in July of 2015, 2 agents attempted to conduct a surprise visit to the family's home in Elgin, a small suburb about 25 miles east of Austin. Now, according to the lawsuit, those 2 agents did not accept that the family had gone on vacation or that JT was healthy after a recent checkup at the hospital in Oklahoma. So in turn, the DFPS sought to have Oklahoma University Hospital take protective custody of the boy, but the hospital refused. Next, Texas DFPS convinced Sooner State Child Welfare Authorities to conduct their own investigation, which they did. This secondary investigation resulted in a literal clean bill of health for JT and a figurative clean bill of health for his parents, finding abuse allegations unsubstantiated. Okay, but still, Texas DFPS continued to investigate. 2 Lone Star State Child Welfare agents identified in the lawsuit as Bridget Hughes and Jennifer Evans went on to obtain a court order that authorized the removal of JT and his older brother from the parents' custody. Now, Miss Evans and Mr. Hughes, or Miss Evans and Miss Hughes, crossed the state lines in Oklahoma, according to the filing. Now, they showed up where Lorena was visiting with family in Oklahoma, and Miss Evans and Miss Hughes took the children from their parents and loving family. First of all, my question is, if they left the state to go to another state to retrieve these children, isn't that out of their jurisdiction? So these agents can just go to wherever you are and take your kids? That doesn't sound right. I'm gonna have to look into it because that sounds real suspicious. But anyway, and let's not forget that these child protective services and things like that are some of the biggest child trafficking corporations. Okay, you can look that up. So I really would have been ticked off. They probably would have had to fight me or something, honey. I don't think I would have just complied willingly. I'm sorry. I don't think I would have done it, especially knowing that I didn't do anything to my children. Okay, but anyway, prior to the removal of JT and KT, Lorena made JT's medical records available to Miss Evans and Miss Hughes. So she showed them the medical records. The parents subsequently lost their children to a series of foster homes from July of 2015 to December of 2015. Now, to make matters worse, the filing alleges 2 other DFPS agents repeatedly ignored the parents when they provided the state with familial alternatives to foster care. So they had people in their family that could take the kids, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted them in foster care. Now, despite the Lone Star State statutory presumption of keeping children with family if possible, they didn't care. No, we want them in foster care. Your family's not getting them. So after being forced to sell their house to deal with mounting legal costs, this is all said, a Travis County court ruled in the family's favor and returned custody to the parents. The lawsuit seeks compensatory damages, punitive damages, attorney's fees, litigation expenses, interest, and a declaratory judgment forcing the hospital to correct JT's medical charts and remove all references to neglect and abuse. A spokesperson for the Austin branch of DFPS said the agency has no comment on the pending litigation. I bet they don't. I bet they don't. Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful? What do y'all think about this? Mr. Elevation said he would own the state. Okay, I mean, this is all crazy. Why would you do that to somebody? Anyway, I digress. Now let's talk about Candace Owens and this gag order. I find it all so interesting. So get a load of this. Right-wingers at war. Daily Wire reportedly gets gag order against ex-host Candace Owens. The conservative news site allegedly sought to silence its former employee, even as it promised to organize a debate with Ben Shapiro. So, the Daily Wire, which ended its relationship with Ms. Owens in March after clashes over Israel and anti-Semitism, has reportedly said that it wants to organize a debate between her and Mr. Shapiro. He doesn't want to, I don't think he wants to debate Candace, which is probably why he got the gag order. Okay. But on Thursday, the veteran journalist Glenn Greenwood reported that the Daily Wire had persuaded a private arbitrator to ban Ms. Owens from publicly disparaging the company, citing her demand for debate as an example. Now, the company reportedly told the arbitrator that while it did not object to a healthy debate in principle, her method of requesting and negotiating it constituted a breach of her contract. The Daily Wire has ensured that the debate with Ms. Owens that they publicly claimed to want could not, in fact, take place. Now, they say they want to debate her, but we just can't do it. That man doesn't want to debate Candace. Because one thing about her, I don't like her, but let's just face it. She is smart. She's intellectual. Now, they say any such debate would be in conflict with the gag order that they ordered on Owens for expressing any criticisms of the site or Mr. Shapiro. In response, the Daily Wire's co-CEO, Jeremy Boring, told Mr. Greenwald that it was inaccurate to the point of being false without denying any specific facts, saying, "I'm sure you can appreciate how fraught a high-profile breakup like this is. For that reason, we're trying to resolve our issues with Candace privately." Ms. Owens told Mr. Greenwald that, "I wish I could comment on this, but I can't." The Independent has asked both Ms. Owens and the Daily Wire for a comment. Now, it marks the latest twist in a long dispute between Ms. Owens and Mr. Shapiro, which has been both parties publicly insulting and belittling each other since the start of the Hamas-Israel war last October. So Mr. Shapiro, who is Jewish and styles himself as a champion of free speech, strongly supports Israel's government and once claimed that Palestinians like to bomb crap and live in open sewage, though he later narrowed his remarks to only Arabs who actively seek Israel's destruction. Some of these people are something else. Now, Miss Owens, I want you all to pay attention to this. Listen to this. They say Miss Owens, a black woman who rose to fame by calling on African Americans and other people of color to abandon the Democratic Party, has criticized Israel's brutal treatment of Palestinian civilians and the USA's continued willingness to fund it. Now, however, she has speculated about a gang of Jewish criminals manipulating Hollywood and media. She has also liked anti-Semitic tweets on X, formerly known as Twitter, and defended anti-Semitic comments by Kanye West and claimed the problem with Hitler was merely that he had dreams outside of Germany. Here's the thing. So what? I don't like Kundis, but if she did all of that, so what? She can't like a tweet on Twitter. She can't like a tweet on Twitter. She can't agree with what Kanye West said. She can't say something favorable about Hitler. I'm sorry. What did Hitler do to her? Last I checked, the people who did something to people who look like her was not from Germany, is all I'm saying. Okay, I find it all so interesting. Ahmadiyyah's official says she's black. Unfortunately, yes. Okay, but at the end of the day, I just want you all to pay attention because these people are something else. Now, but let me continue. So they go on to say, initially, Mr. Boren said that there was still a home for Ms. Owens at the Daily Wire. Said even if we could, we would not fire Candace because of another thing that we have in common, and that's a desire not to regulate the speech of our host, even when we disagree with them. This is what he wrote last November. But clearly, that's all a lie because you want a gag order against her so she can't say certain things. So you clearly don't want free speech. They say Candace is paid to give her opinion, not mine or Ben's. Unless those opinions run afoul of the law or she violates the terms of her contract in some way, her job is secure and she is welcome at Daily Wire. Now, Mr. Greenwald himself is no stranger to controversy. After receiving a Pulitzer Prize for his work with U.S. intelligence whistleblower Edward Snowden for The Guardian, he founded left-wing investigative news site The Intercept. Okay, so in 2020, he resigned from the company after accusing it of politically motivated censorship and has since become a darling of conservative media outlets for his strident criticism of left-leaning activists, journalists, and politicians. Please listen to it. I don't like Ben Shapiro just because he's Ben Shapiro. Take that how you will or may. And I also don't like Kundis. So with that all being said, they can both kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. But to the point of it, at the end of the day, why can't she agree with Kanye and why can't she like to post on Twitter? Okay? Just want y'all to pay attention. Now, but here's the thing. Remember how I told you all about a month ago that Candace was going and doing all these little media runs? She went on the Breakfast Club. She went on Joe Budden's podcast and all of that. And I said, now she wants to come running back to the Black community that she dogged out, okay? And then said, acting like she's trying to help us. And that the only reason she was being so tough on us is because she wanted us to not to be victims and all of that. I'm calling crap and cap, okay? Because for one, Candace said a whole lot of disparaging things about us. She spewed their rhetoric. She also lied and said there's no more racism or that there isn't any racism, as if there never was. But then we find out how she filed that lawsuit, okay, when she was in college or in high school. She tried to explain that away when she was on the Breakfast Club, but I wasn't falling for it because at the end of the day, I believe it was exactly the way it was reported, okay? Alice said they wanted to punish her for turning to the Black community. Possibly so. Skeletor fan said hypocrite. Absolutely. But here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention because let's not forget, for the people who allow Candace to come on their platform, like the Breakfast Club, they're just ridiculous anyway to me. And Joe Budden, let's not forget when Candace said these things about people who look like me.
Are so race obsessed. And one thing I always say, Tucker, is that the left can pull a racist narrative from thin air where it doesn't exist, but when it actually is in their face, they try to avoid it at all costs, especially when the perpetrator is a Black person against another white person, which obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that Black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate. Now, what's interesting here is that the two biggest race cases of the last 2 years, arguably George Floyd and Kyle Rittenhouse, never actually produced a single piece of evidence pointing to race, right? George Floyd, Derek Chauvin never used racial language or racial slurs against George Floyd during that arrest. It didn't matter. It became the biggest race case in America. Kyle Rittenhouse, that case had to do with 3 white people. It didn't matter. They extracted a racial narrative for that case.
Y'all see why I don't like Candace? Y'all see why I don't like Candace? I absolutely cannot with her. She's an idiot. Okay, she's an idiot. She can talk about the Black community, but as soon as she says something about another, oh, it's a bad thing. Exactly. Okay, that's why she's a fool. That's why all people like her are fools. That's why. Yeah, she can talk trash about her own people, put us down, and disparage us and say we're the most murderous bunch. How are we the most murderous bunch? I'm sorry, say what now? Who came over here and killed all the natives with smallpox on purpose, given by blankets? Make it all make sense. Who's going from sea to shining sea, from shore to shore, committing genocide? Who did medical genocide and experiments on people without anesthesia? I'm sorry, what? She sounds ridiculous. That's how you know Candace just be saying crazy stuff. And then also, let's not forget how she was talking about one time before when the whole George Floyd thing was going on. Remember how she said that Black people are the only ones that make their criminals martyrs. They praise their criminals. When have we ever praised criminals? Collectively. There might be some of us that do foolishly, but when have we collectively praised criminals? We were not praising George Floyd. We were simply saying that whether or not he was a criminal, he didn't deserve what happened to him. He was not a danger or a threat to anyone. No one was in imminent danger. So why was there a need to do anything to him, specifically take his life? And then she said that Derek Chauvin didn't say anything racially insensitive or whatever. He didn't have to. So does she really foolishly think that someone has to say something racist before they kill you? For it to be a hate crime or for it to be something to do with race? This woman is sick, okay? She's really sick. And quite frankly, I'm thrilled that they gave her the gag order. Even though in real life, in reality, if it were anybody else, I would say, they don't need to give her a gag order. She said what she said. Why is it a problem? Okay, but she's absolutely ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. Moving right along. Now I have some lifelines for you guys. I want you all to pay attention because this is all crazy. I'm going to share my screen and show you all this video. First, before I show the video, one's in the chat for any of you. And please don't start lying because I know some of y'all going to lie and act like, oh no, I eat healthy. I'm a vegan. I only eat fruits and vegetables. Stop lying right now, okay? How many of you, once in the chat, you eat at Arby's, Dairy Queen, Little Caesars, Domino's, Dunkin' Donuts, KFC, McDonald's? How many of you eat at any of those places? One's in the chat. One's in the chat. How many of you eat at those places? Okay. Nessie X putting a 2. Nessie X putting a 2. Now, I know you're lying, Nessie X, but I'm going to let you slide because I really know that you just literally, okay, had breakfast at McDonald's this morning. Okay, pay attention. Now, hold on. Somebody said Zaxby's only. Who said that? Alberta said, does Papa John's count? Nancy said, I'm for real. I know you are, beloved. I'm just messing with you. Tangy said, Dairy Queen ice cream reminds me of my grandmother. Okay. That Crazy Beach area says, I eat it all, but order picky options. Okay. My aunt Egypt said, Queen, I don't eat fast food over 12 years. Not healthy. Exactly. See, I believe you, my aunt Egypt. See, when somebody's going around here calling themselves my aunt Egypt, you can just already know that they're woke. And if they're woke, what they're not doing is eating that kind of food. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So that all been said. Roddy said, need a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It is what it is. And I'm hungry now. Y'all are so terrible. Okay? Daryl LaFille said, I love Jersey Mike. Okay. Yeah, they have good sandwiches, right? Okay, so with that all being said, Michael M. said the only one on the list you mentioned for me is Domino's sometimes. Okay, so let me just tell you all something. I want y'all all to pay attention. Miss Elevation said, does Wingstop count? On purpose, sitting here lying, talking about my house is full of vegetables. I'm just messing with you, beloved. Okay. Roddy said, I will be vegan today, LOL. Okay. That Crazy Beach area said a crispy crack donut sounds yummy. Not a crispy crack. Okay, so here's the thing. Y'all need to stop eating that BS, and here's why. I'm about to share my screen and show you all the sad, bad news. All right, please pay attention. Y'all are killing yourselves slowly is all I'm saying. Tamiko Show said, I used to not eat fast food for 15 years, but I fell off the wagon. Oh, my Lord. Tamiko, how did you fall off the wagon after 15 years, beloved? Oh, my goodness. This is awful. Roddy said, I don't eat pork, but once per year during holiday time at home. Y'all are awful. Desmond said, Queen, does a big red and a cheeseburger count? Let me just go to these receipts because at the end of the day, all of y'all going to be looking real crazy in a minute. Pay attention. Y'all need to stop eating this. Who's going to be in my chat? Odd Negroes Official said, I love pork. I eat pork. I love pork. Well, please don't tell anybody else that. See, here's the thing. If you're living in 2024 and you're still eating pork, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just being said, I eat it, but not often. I stay in public. Timber Dan said he's hollering, okay? Mr. Elevation said, I meal prep, Queen. There you go, beloved. See, that's what I do. I meal prep. Okay, I learned that from my big buff son who works out 24/7, and he's always meal prepping, so I started doing it too. All right. Tamiko said, I moved to Vegas, LOL. I was lonely. Okay. I'll let you slide. That Crazy Rich Air said, bacon is my friend. Lord, y'all is eating all this bacon. Y'all better eat some turkey bacon. But anyway, let me share this video so you all can see why you shouldn't be eating any of that stuff. Okay? Pearlie said, Queen got everyone confessing. I know, right?
Y'all hear about this? The top 20 fast food restaurants got weed killer in the food. Man, weed killer is crazy. Most popular places like Panera Bread and Arby's got some fucking nerve. And then y'all see the rest. Lindy's, Big Filet, like damn. 100% of the top 20 fast food brands tested positive for glyphosate. Glyphosate is a synthetic compound that is particularly effective against perennial weeds. It's a non-selective herbicide, meaning it will kill most plants, preventing the plants from making certain proteins that are needed for plant growth. If it does this to plants, then what's it doing in your stomach? Fast food is consumed by 85 million Americans each day, and that contributes to America being the worst in the world in life expectancy, infant mortality, and diabetes. Glyphosate exposure can impact your mental health. It's a neurotoxic that can affect your brain, poisonous to your nervous system, your gut health, and your immune system. But your gut is your second brain. That's why your serotonin, which is the happy hormone, is produced in your stomach. So it makes sense. Serotonin and melatonin is both in your gut, and they're important hormones that affect your mood, sleep, developing depression, violent and obsessive behavior, as well as suicidal and homicidal thoughts and actions. Glyphosate can also cause liver and organ damage. Levels was found in 2 samples of paneer bread, their Arby's sandwiches, and the lowest level was found at Chipotle. Next lowest is Panda Express and McDonald's. What's your thoughts on this? Comment that below right now. Catch up for article source. I'm doing a full breakdown on my YouTube, link in bio. Damn.
All of you should be ashamed of yourselves. All of you should be ashamed of yourselves. And here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention, because what did he say? What did he say? That is used to kill plants, right? Okay, and he said, so what do you think it's doing to your stomach? Well, here's the thing. Humans and plants share many similarities, okay? So if it kills plants, what do you think it's going to do to you? Humans and plants share many similarities. Atoms, let's talk about it. The atoms that make up the human body have been in plants, animals, minerals, and the air. For example, every carbon atom in the human body was once part of a plant during photosynthesis. Human genes share 20 to 60% of their genes with plants. Okay, depending on the species. Most of the genes plants share with humans turn proteins and sugar into energy. So y'all need to sit down somewhere, because if it's killing plants, it's killing you. That's all I'm saying. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, how about this? How many of you once in the chat, Nessie said, Queen, I saw you at KFC, remember? No, I absolutely don't. You didn't see me at KFC, honey, okay? Please pay attention. Now, I did used to love KFC when I was growing up. My mother always took us to KFC. But now listen to this, because here's the interesting thing. How many of you once in the chat eat that imitation crab meat? How many of you eat imitation crab meat? My Aunt Egypt said you are what you eat. Absolutely. Imitation crab meat, specifically crab sticks. Anybody eat crab sticks? Once in the chat if you eat fake imitation crab or crab sticks. Okay. Well, let me just tell you what this is all about. I'm going to share my screen again so you all can see this. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. You all see from the look on her face, this is not good. Please pay attention.
Crab sticks made. After watching this video, you might never want to eat it again. First, workers throw frozen fish paste, resembling cement, into a blender. Then, a large amount of ice is added. Under the action of the blender, the melted ice mixes with the fish paste, forming a thick, fragrant mixture that doesn't look appetizing. Next, sugar, salt, and other seasonings are added and mixed. After the blending is complete, the crucial shaping stage begins. With the help of a machine, the thick mixture is squeezed into thin, evenly sized sheets. Meanwhile, workers mix edible dye with the mixture to create a red-colored material similar to crab legs. This colored mixture is then applied to one end of the thin sheets. As the sheets move along a conveyor belt, they pass through a pulling machine, creating a texture resembling chicken meat. The sheets are then rolled into round sticks, forming the basis of the crab sticks. The freshly rolled sticks are fed into a machine, where they are wrapped in a thin film and finally cut into evenly sized small sticks. Thus, crab sticks without any real crab meat are produced. Please forward this to your friends who love crab sticks. How are crab sticks made? After watching this
I'm sorry. Definitely shouldn't be eating that. Did y'all see how they make it and the little tricks and stuff they use? Oh, the fairies. Somebody said they were allergic to seafood. That's not even seafood at this point. Okay, fake food, says Roddy. Pensacola said, seafood eaters, stop eating that paste. It's disgusting and looks disgusting, okay? Oh, man, that's crazy. But hold on. So now, here's the thing. That stuff that they were using to make that, the square thing that came out that looked like a block of concrete, they use something that looks very much like that when they make the chicken nuggets, okay? When they make those chicken nuggets, okay? Yes, that's right. The Crazy Beach Area's Lifelines. Okay, so now I'm about to be out of here, but before I do, I want you all to see this. Lord, I don't know why Jake Paul even is trying it. Clearly, he's getting paid pretty good. Because why is he even trying to go for Mike Tyson? I want you all to see Mike Tyson practicing, getting it in. And then watch Jake Paul doing the same. It's all so sad. What does he think that's gonna do? Miss J said he has a death wish, honey, clearly, because what does he think that's gonna do against Mike Tyson? Hold on, I forgot to show y'all this. Hold on. Oh, crazy.
True. Now you mad because you caught up. Big sick. Big sick. She's sick. She's sick. You got this nigga in this house right now.
Look, I told you. I told you.
Told me what?
He was coming home, and
You never said anything.
I said one thing, but I mean, now the truth is he's coming home.
So why didn't you just be honest from the? See, this is I be talking about out here. There's women out here, grown women, grown. You talking about helping you? So why would you do some stuff like that?
I'm really sorry.
I paid the bills here, and you got another in his house.
But he came home. I don't know what else to do. What do you?
What was all that you was talking about building and growing and all that?
I really planned on doing that. But
Plan on doing what? Planned on lying?
He came out of jail. He had.
I've been taking care of his child.
Look, he has nowhere to stay. I
don't give a fuck about him. I don't care about that. You knew, so why'd you even deal with me in the first place?
I really wanted it to work.
You crazy. Like you crazy.
What? So basically she found somebody else to pay the bills while her guy was locked up. Where they do that at?
I'm not trying to hit none of that. I've been taking care of Talia since she was 3. Since she was 3. This ain't this for you. I pay all the bills here.
But he's home now. He said he's gonna get a job and everything.
I don't give a fuck about that. Bro, what is you talking about? Like,
it's nothing that I
really? What you tell him come outside?
Look, can you come?
Tell him come outside. Tell him come outside.
Okay,
I don't even want him. It is true. Now you mad because you caught up.
Okay, she did exactly what that woman said, okay? The woman who was giving the reaction. She basically got him moved in there so he could pay the bills while the man that she really wants is in jail. Why do you want somebody who's in jail anyway, lady? He don't even have a job. But anyway, they pick him. This is how some women are. Just no good at all. Just no darn good. Okay, men, you have to be careful. Some of these women is snots, and they're for the streets. All right? Please pay attention. Now, hold on, because I got to show you all this. I got to show you all 2 more videos real quick. This one, I absolutely loved it, because this to me was instant karma. Okay? This was nothing but instant karma. All right, Tangie said life choices. Exactly.
Yo, a lady called the police on me today because I'm hitting golf balls at the park. And when the officer pulled up, I just simply put a golf ball in his hand and he scores it. He said it's foam. I said, of course, who would hit live golf balls at a public park? And then the lady who had called and complained had her dog off the leash, and he walked over and told her about a city ordinance and gave her a ticket. Isn't life lovely? Yo.
Okay, so y'all heard that. Now I want to tell you what the comments said. Please pay attention. So she said she was at the park, and of course she was minding her own black business, and she's hitting golf balls. This woman, a Karen, calls the police and says that she's hitting golf balls in the park, in a public place. When he gets there, she hands him the golf ball, and it's made out of foam. Now, people in the comments who don't look like me, they were trying to make excuses for the Karen, saying, well, one person said, well, why didn't you go and tell her that it was a foam golf ball? Because she didn't have to. She didn't have to explain herself to Karen. You see how they think, some of them? Talking about, why did you go and tell her? First of all, what makes him think, the person who left the comment, what makes him think that the woman even bothered to ask her before calling the police? She didn't inform that woman she was about to call the police. I bet you she didn't, because if she had, the woman would definitely have told her, "These are her phone." She didn't ask her. She just went and called the police, because that's what Karens do. Always trying to ruin a black person's day. Oh, there's a Negro over there hitting golf balls, smiling and having a good time. Let me just call the police real quick, because this is not a golf course. Why is she sitting there? Why is she sitting there hitting those golf balls and people are out here that could get injured? Hello, 911. Yeah, there is a Negro sitting. That's what she did. Okay, that's exactly what she did. And then they think that this one was obligated to tell her that they were a phone. But the good part of it is that she got a ticket for having her dog off the leash. So she's sitting here trying to insinuate that this woman's a danger. Oh, but she's the real danger. Please pay attention. I mean, it's the audacity of it for me. But anyway, I digress. Now, let's look at this one. Because this is a case of a clout chaser gone wrong, in my opinion. And I want to know what all of you think about this. Because to me, this was just a whole clout chase. I'm sorry. Truth Over Everything says shredded cheese has nitazoxanide as an ingredient. It is prescribed in medicine. You can only get nitazoxanide medication by prescribed. Shred your own cheese. Yes, and here's another thing. Shredded cheese also has wood chips in it. I saw a documentary where they were talking about all this stuff that y'all shouldn't be eating. I could give y'all a whole list of things you shouldn't be eating. But one of them is shredded cheese. They said they put wood chips in it. Basically, I think they said it was to keep it from sticking together or something like that. But also, for those of you who love vanilla ice cream, how many of you like vanilla ice cream? One's in the chat if you like vanilla ice cream. One's in the chat if you like vanilla ice cream. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up the receipt so y'all won't think I'm making this up because it sounds real crazy. Oh, Lord, I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all are putting ones in there? Y'all, a whole lot of y'all putting ones. So let me just tell y'all the sad news. Please pay attention. Okay, so I saw this documentary, the same one that talked about the cheese having the wood in it. It also said that they put beaver, that's right, beaver, you know, like the animal, a beaver, that they put beaver doo-doo in the ice cream. And I'm thinking, okay, out of all the ingredients, why would they need beaver doo-doo? And first of all, who thought of that? So now when I just Googled it, here's what it says. It's unlikely that vanilla ice cream contains beaver secretions such as Clostridium, which comes from a beaver's anus. The FDA classifies Clostridium as generally regarded as safe to eat. They put it in there. Pay attention. They just said that the FDA considers it safe to eat. Why would they be worried about if it's safe to eat if you're not putting it in nothing? They're putting it in something, and I believe it's that vanilla ice cream, just like it said on that documentary. They said it has been used in human products for over 2,000 years to treat stomach issues, fevers, mental illnesses, and more. Please miss me with it. Okay? And here's the thing. Now, on the Smithsonian site, it says that it's a bitter, creamy, orange-brown substance made up of the dried perineal glands of beavers, along with their secretion, which comes from their butt. Okay, however, about 99% of the world's vanilla comes from synthetic sources. So they're giving you fake ice cream. Now, is that supposed to make us feel better? Because they said, hey, wait a minute, even though we do put beaver poo in the vanilla ice cream, don't worry, because 99% of the ice cream actually is synthetic, comes from synthetic sources. Okay, yeah, such as vanillin, which is cheaper and less labor intensive than Clostridium. Additionally, there is no commercial source of beaver castor sacs, whatever that is. This is all sick. I don't want to eat anything at this point. I don't want to eat anything at this point. Okay? T. Hall said, I hate this country. So many things we eat are banned in other countries. Yes, they are. Okay, Mr. Elevation said, time to boycott ice cream. Tangie says, the horror. Roddy says, invest in an ice cream maker if you eat ice cream a lot. I don't eat ice cream. But here's another thing I forgot to tell you all too. So you know those drumsticks that you get in the store, like at Kroger or whatever, in the frozen section, and they have the ice cream with the little nuts and stuff on it? Well, somebody did a video. I think I saw it on TikTok, but somebody did a video maybe a week or so I saw it, and they lit one of those things on fire. Do you know it didn't even melt? It did not even melt. And then they said that Pearlie said, I'm done, Queen. Okay, me too. But that stuff didn't even melt. And then they showed that the brand that they had, not saying all of the brands, but the brand that they had, however, and I don't remember which brand it was, but they said when they read on the back of it, it didn't even say that it was ice cream. It said that it was a frozen dessert. Okay, a frozen dessert. So go figure. Didn't say that it was ice cream is all I'm saying. So y'all need to be watching what you eat. Okay, y'all need to be watching what you eat. And there's a lot of healthy alternatives. For those of you who didn't get my vegan cookbook, you should, okay? Because I have wonderful recipes in there that are actually delicious. All right, with that all being said, I just had a mushroom burger last night, and it was absolutely delicious. But anyway, I digress. That's right, fake food, All Negroes Official. And then Truth Over Everything said most Black people are lactose intolerant and milk products cause inflammation. Yes. And why do y'all think that most of us are lactose intolerant? Why do y'all think that most of us get sick if we drink milk that comes from a cow? I'm so glad you asked. Because milk that comes from a cow is not supposed to be for human consumption. It's supposed to be for a baby cow. It's supposed to be for a baby cow, not for humans. Okay? Please pay attention. Now I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this video of this woman clout chasing and just making a complete fool of herself.
Dumbass. You got me in a car looking like a fucking dummy.
I was trying to do a con gesture.
No, kind gesture my ass. I don't give a fuck if that's your baby mama. She can take the bus. I don't care if she can take the train. I don't give a fuck. Let her ass walk. She got a whole nother nigga over here worried about this shit. Picking this damn guy. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Why the fuck is I? Why am I even in this situation? You should have told me you was picking her ass up. No, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit though. Look, I ain't got time for that bullshit. You can walk your ass to wherever the fuck you gotta go. Walk your ass wherever the fuck you gotta go. He ain't gotta give you a ride. I bet his ass ain't gonna give your ass another ride. Bet you the fuck he won't. Bye. Why is you still here though? Why is you still here? Bye.
Now, what do you all think about that? Because I think she made a whole fool of herself, for one. He's giving somebody a ride. You're in the car with him in the front seat. What are you worried about? Because it's his baby's mother? So he shouldn't pick up the mother of his child or children if he sees them walking or if they need a ride. Like, well, girl, what's wrong with you? And she was just sitting there the whole time. First of all, why are you recording this on a whole live? Y'all saw how she kept looking at her phone? So she's putting on a show. Cloud chasing, clearly. And Miss J said she sounds stupid. That's because she is stupid. Okay? Everybody said insecure. Clearly insecure. Like, girl, you're in the car with him. Nessie X said, why do Black women act like that? That's not just Black women. Negroes Official said she wants to go viral. Well, in the worst way. Okay, Pencilo said a whole show. I mean, some people are just foolish beyond any help. Okay, it's nothing you can even do for them at this point. Now, with that all being said, hold on, I'm sorry. I have 2 more videos to show you all, and I promise I'm out of here. Now, I'm showing you all this because some people in the comments that don't look like me, one person specifically said this video was racist. Now, I want you all to tell me what you think. The likes up, everyone please like and share. Here we go. They said this video was racist. I'm trying to figure out where or how.
Remember, you're a black woman.
What are you talking about? Why do you do that? Why are you questioning that?
Because you are a black woman.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, you're able to say, I'm a black woman.
What are you talking about?
Blaine, remember, you're a black woman.
What are you talking
Now, a Karen who was in the comments said, oh, that's racist. Why is she telling her that she's a black woman when she's clearly biracial? Lady, this is what I told her. First of all, whether she's biracial or not, when she does become a woman, she will be viewed and identified by people like yourself, Karen, as a black woman. That's how they'll view her, as a black woman. So her mother is telling her the right thing. Okay, Buckhurst DC said it's the village idiots again. Yes. Okay, black women stand up, so she's a black child. Yes, exactly. Okay. Okay, Mr. Elevation said, Karen, sit down. Exactly my point. Okay, sounding crazy. But now I want you all to see this and tell me what you all think about it, because Kirstie Allen, may she rest in peace, clearly thought this was funny. Resurfaced Kirstie Allen interview has left viewers speechless, with the late Cheers actress revealing the jaw-dropping costumes that her parents were wearing when they died in a car crash on their way to a Halloween party. Okay, I just want you all to see this. Hold on. Now, just between us, somebody said in the comments that the ancestors caused them to crash. Please pay attention.
Where were they going? And she said, to a Halloween party. And I said, what were they dressed as? And she said, the Odd Couple. She said, Mom was a black girl and Dad was a Ku Klux Klan member. We started laughing. And the whole family, I guess, had heard this conversation, and we all started laughing. And it was the greatest tribute that you could give my mother. I said,
she said they all started laughing. Yeah, she's deceased, beloved. She said they all started laughing, and it was the greatest tribute you could give her mother. I'm sorry. What was funny about that, for one? And for two, that was a tribute? You take that as a tribute? So her mother had on blackface. I just want y'all to pay attention. Her mother had on blackface because she said the mother was a black girl, right? And the father was a Klansman. Yeah. But now, one of the things that I also meant to tell you guys was the comments. There was a woman who doesn't look like me who said the good old days when no one got butthurt and could take a joke. I said what I said. I dressed up as an illegal, and my brother was a Border Patrol agent one year. Hashtag good times. Okay, Karen. At the end of the day, and this is what I told her because I left her comment too. I said, if you and your brother dressed as an immigrant and a Border Patrol agent, clearly that was also racist and stereotypical. Why is it that stereotypical things are viewed as funny to people like you? Okay, please make it all make sense. Right. The Swift said the quiet part out loud. Right. Why would she even say that? Why would she think that that was funny? Your mother wore blackface. I would not have told anybody that. And I specifically wouldn't have been laughing when I said it. But anyway. Okay, Timber Dan said, so an all-around racist. Exactly. And then your father was dressed as a Klansman because he's probably an actual member, a card-carrying member. He probably just put on his old hood and cape that he had in the closet. He didn't have to buy a costume. Ms. J said they're always making light of being racist. Yes, exactly. So with that all being said, likes up, everyone please like and share. Thank you in advance, okay? And let me say this, hold on, let me just tell you all this before I go. So I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and they were telling me that when they were at work, that one of the loss prevention people, you know, the people that do security, that walk around the store or the business and see if anybody's taking anything illegally, stealing or whatever. So they said that they had let this person who was Latina, basically, or Hispanic, let them, they were going to purchase an item. like a tool. It was at Home Depot. So they were looking for a tool. The person found it, and then they let them walk up to the register to pay for it. Now, some items in Home Depot, the people who work there, they're not supposed to let you walk to the register by yourself. They're supposed to escort you if it costs more than $99. So this was less than $99. So long story short, the person walks to the register and pays for it and leaves. The loss prevention person who doesn't look like me goes up to the person who does look like me, who allowed them to walk to the register, and says to them, you let them walk to the register by himself with that? And they were like, yeah. And they were like, well, you shouldn't do that because, somebody could think you were being discriminated. You were discriminating because, for example, if me and my wife came in here, you probably wouldn't let us do that. And then so that could be considered as discrimination. What? First of all, I'd have been like, where is this all coming from? Basically implying that they could have stolen it, right? But the fact is they didn't steal it. They went and paid for it and they're gone. What's the problem? Why are we having this conversation, Bob? Why are we talking? Second of all, how do you know that he wouldn't have let you and your wife just go to the register? He would have let y'all go to the register because it was less than $100. Okay, it was less than $99. Anything less than $99, they're allowed to let you walk to the register. So what are you talking about? And he was like, I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to do you a favor. See, that's the thing about racist people. The ones that are racist, how do I want to put it? They're not blatantly racist. They use microaggressions and things like that. They try to have subtle racism. So what they do is they'll do and say racist things to you, but then they'll act as though they're trying to do you a favor. I'm just trying to help you out so you don't get in trouble, because, that could be racism. That could be considered discrimination. What? First of all, Bob, why are you accusing someone who looks like me of racism and discrimination? I'm sorry. Isn't that what you do best? And the whole kicker to the whole thing is this. He was the one, in fact, being racist and being discriminatory because, for one, why did he notice or concern himself with the fact that the person going to the register with this tool was a Hispanic? Why was he concerned? Because he's a racist. So all he was doing was deflecting. And the only reason he had a question or a problem with it is because the person who looks like me let someone who was Hispanic walk to the register without being escorted. Why did he let them walk to the register? Because he didn't think that they were going to steal anything, and not to mention it was less than $99, like I said. So that's the policy. So some people are just ridiculous. I just want y'all to pay attention. 169 said racist and nosy. Yes, I would have gone in on him. Okay, first of all, he doesn't tell this person what to do. If you're loss prevention, that means that you don't literally work for Home Depot. What you do is you work for a security company that has a contract to do security for them. And so with that all being said, you're not this person's boss. You're not their supervisor, their manager. You have no say-so in what they do is all I'm saying. So why are you talking to them again? That's what I would have asked them. Why are we having a conversation? Why are you asking me anything about anything? You're not my boss. This is why I cannot. This is absolutely why I cannot. Okay? Because I would have told him real quick, mind your damn business. Mind the business that pays you. Okay? Anyway, I digress. Oh, so crazy. So everyone, please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. And listen, beloveds, I have something to do today. So I'm likely not going to be on the spiritual channel, but I will be on there tomorrow. Okay, so everyone, please pay attention. With that all being said, Pensacola said, I cannot either, Queen. Okay, exactly. Like, who wants to deal with that? I find it all interesting. But see, here's what a boss told me years ago when I was in college. My boss, who looked like me, I was telling him how somebody who didn't look like me came to work one day, and they were asking me. They weren't really asking me. They were telling me, but they were saying, oh, I need you to come in and work my shift on Thursday. You need to work my shift and switch with me and let me work yours because I have something to do on Thursday. I said, are you asking me or you're telling me? Because that doesn't sound like a question. Sounds like a statement or a request. Basically, I told them no, I don't want to work on Thursday. Now, had they asked me, use the proper protocol, and said, hey, listen, could you please work for me on Thursday? Could we switch shifts? Then maybe I would have done it if I didn't have anything to do on Thursday. But no, you don't come and tell me, hey, I need you to work. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to work for me on Thursday because I'm going to have to take the day off because I got to do X, Y, and Z. What? So when my boss came in, I was telling my boss how this person came and was telling me this, and they were speaking to me as if they were the boss. They didn't ask me. It's like they were telling me. And I said I had to give them the business. So my boss says to me, oh, he was like, yeah, that's common amongst people like that. Because what they'll do is even if they're not in charge, they'll try to talk to us like they are. I said, well, he got the wrong one. He got the wrong one. Pensacola said, yeah, we're made aggressive. Exactly. Timber Dan said rude. And let me tell you all one more thing before I leave out here. So back when I was doing security when I was in college, and I may have told you all this before, when I was doing corporate security when I was in college, I was working at this place out in Johns Creek Parkway. It was kind of far. But anyway, this guy who worked there who didn't look like me, he was clearly racist, and he was just such an a-hole. So one day on the way to work, I would relieve him. Okay, when I come in, he leaves, and he had a second job. So this particular day, I'm on my way to work, and I had just gotten out of class, and I'm coming straight to work, and I get a flat tire. So I had to call AAA to get the tire changed. So I was like 40 minutes late for work. When I get there, and I did call the control center where we had to log in or whatever, clock in, I called them to let them know that I was going to be late and why. So when I get to the job, this fool is so mad because I'm late, and plus he's already racist. So he's sitting at the desk and he won't let me in the building. Mind you, the building is secured, it's locked. And the only way you can get in if you're if you're security, you have a badge to get in, right? The security officer on duty. Now, everyone else who works there, the employees, they all have badges to get in as well. If they forget their badge, then they have to get security to let them in. Long story short, I'm sitting there buzzing the buzzer, and he's looking right at me. I'm buzzing the buzzer for him to let me in, and he just sits there and takes his time. He's sitting there looking at his watch, twiddling his thumbs. He's purposely trying to make me wait because he's mad because I'm late. Okay, fine. So I get on the phone, and I call the control center, and I say, hey, listen. I said, this is Officer Shakur. Could you please call the front desk and tell this fool to let me in because he's upset because I'm late, I guess, and he's not opening the door. So I saw him pick up the phone, and then after he got off the phone, he comes, gets his bag, and he's leaving, and he's coming to let me in. Now, mind you, he has the badge that security has to use. So he has to give the badge to the next person. That's what we do. So when he's leaving, instead of handing me the badge, you know what this fool did? I'm sorry, he picked the wrong person on the wrong day. I was already mad because I had a flat tire and I had to sit on the side of the road waiting for AAA, for one, and missing money because I'm late for work. But here's the thing. He walks up to me, and instead of handing me the badge, he tosses it to me. Yeah. He tosses it to me, and it fell on the floor. Excuse me, what? Bob? So I lost it. Okay? Usually, that's got a ring to it, Queen. And so, Buckhurst DC said, you're late, you're fired. No, I didn't get fired, honey. Please sit down somewhere. So, after he threw it to me, I got so mad because I'm like, who are you throwing something at? And I told him, I said, don't you ever throw something at me again like I'm a damn dog. And I shoved him out the door. I sure did. I shoved him right on out the door. I shoved him right on out the door. I couldn't help it. I was mad, but I was not in view of the camera, and I knew it. So I just shoved him right on out that door. Get on out of here. Don't you ever in your life throw something at me. I'm not a damn dog. Who do you think? I just went in. Now, mind you, I was younger. I was much younger back then. I didn't feel like I had anything to lose, and I just went in on it. Okay, Pensacola said, I know Queen didn't pick it up. Okay? At the end of the day, I was so mad because why are you throwing the badge at me, first of all? Needless to say, he eventually got fired for stealing. Isn't that something? Talk about karma. He got fired for stealing. And here's the thing. You know how people who look like him usually try to stereotype us as being the thieves? The lady who looks like him knew that he was the thief because here's what he stole. She comes into work one day, the facility manager, and she says to me, she says, Officer Shakur, she said, who worked last night? who relieved you? And I said, Jason, that's his name. And so she says, he carries in a big bag. She said, because I was looking at the video cameras, and he carries his big bag in here sometimes. She said, did he bring that bag in last night? Because I haven't checked last night's footage. And I said, yeah, he brings it every night. She said, what does he carry in that bag? I'm like, I don't know. I never asked him. And so she says she's going to review the footage. She says, because there's something missing from the 4th floor. And I said, what's missing? She said, it's a $250 wooden model airplane. Now, how did she know that he's the one that stole it? Because people who look like him like model airplanes, not people who look like me. So she went and checked the cameras, and guess what? He was the thief. So he got fired. Okay, he got fired for stealing. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I find it all so nefarious. Pencil Lola said, I love Officer Shakur. Thank you, beloved. TJ said, what? Yes, that's what he did. He got caught stealing, stole a $250 wooden airplane. And mind you, the airplane was only about this big, according to her. Mm-hmm. Queen Sam said, damn, Bob. Talk about karma is all I'm saying. So with that all being said, everyone please, that's right, Darius. Darius said karma is sweet. It absolutely is. Okay, so everyone please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. I love you all to life, okay? And like I said, we'll be back on the spiritual channel tomorrow. All right? So each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got